The Batmobile's engine thrummed beneath me as I accelerated toward Shrek's facility, my mind racing faster than the vehicle's turbines. I'd cut Bruce off mid-warning, but this wasn't recklessness. It was necessity. Selina was surrounded, and every second I hesitated was another second she faced alone. The reinforced gates loomed ahead, chain link topped with razor wire. I reached for the weapons array, finger hovering over the targeting system, when Dick's voice exploded through the comm I'd thought I'd disabled. "Renee, hold position. I'm moving on the convoy." "Dick, no." "Trust me." His shout carried over the sudden screech of tires and the distinctive whump of smoke grenades detonating. Through the Batmobile's rear camera, I watched Dick's motorcycle arc through the air, vaulting over the lead vehicle in Penguin's convoy. Blue-gray smoke billowed across the street, obscuring the six-vehicle formation. The Red Triangle Gang's response was immediate and violent. Gunfire erupted, muzzle flashes strobing through the artificial fog. But Dick was already moving, his cycle weaving between vehicles with the fearless precision of someone who'd grown up on trapeze wires. "You want chaos," Dick's voice carried fierce joy. "Let me show you chaos." I watched, heart in my throat, as he threw multiple somethings, small dark objects that clattered beneath the convoy's wheels. The explosions weren't large, but they were perfectly placed. 3 vehicles lurched to sudden stops, tires shredded, axles compromised. The remaining cars swerved, and one clipped another, metal shrieking. The facility's gates burst open as security rushed out toward the commotion. 6 guards, then 8, abandoning their posts to address the threat Dick had manufactured. "That's your window," Dick panted, and I heard the impact of fist against flesh through his open comm. 60 seconds before they realize I'm alone. I didn't waste his sacrifice. The Batmobile surged forward, slipping through the compromised perimeter before security could regroup. I took the Eastern Service Road, following the route Selina had mapped, and brought the vehicle to a hard stop behind equipment shed 50 yards from the main building's side entrance. Outside, the December air bit through my suit as I sprinted toward the door Selina had marked on her sketches. Behind me, Dick's diversion escalated, more smoke, the crack of his eskrima sticks, and the Penguin's distinctive voice shouting orders. The sound of the Red Triangle Gang's confusion was a symphony. The maintenance entrance yielded to Selina's stolen key. I slipped inside, immediately dropping into a crouch as voices echoed from the main corridor. 2 guards, discussing the lunatic on a motorcycle, tearing through their perimeter. I waited until they passed, then moved deeper into the facility's guts. The building's interior was industrial brutalism, concrete floors, exposed piping, harsh fluorescent lighting that cast everything in sickly yellow-green. Bruce's blueprints had been accurate, but they couldn't convey the oppressive atmosphere, the sense of something wrong humming through the walls. The sub-basement access was a reinforced door marked "Authorized Personnel Only." Through my earpiece, I heard Bruce's voice returning, layered with static from the building's interference. "Renee, bio readings, basement level, 5 signatures. 5, Selina plus 4 hostiles. I tested the door, locked electronically. My claws wouldn't help here, but the Batmobile's EMP emitter had a portable variant. I pulled the device from my belt, pressed it against the lock's mechanism, and triggered a localized pulse. The lock clicked. The door swung open onto a descending stairwell, and I moved down into darkness punctuated by emergency lighting. Voices drifted up, Shrek's cultured tone sharp with anger. "Compromised everything. How did they know about today's timeline?" "Maybe your assistant isn't as loyal as you thought." That was Penguin's nasal rasp. "I told you she was too smart for her own good." My blood turned to ice. I descended faster, abandoning stealth for speed, and emerged into the sub-basement proper. It was a massive space, dominated by the capacitor array, a nightmare of industrial machinery, cables thick as my thigh, and transformer units that crackled with barely contained energy. Selena stood in the center of it all, flanked by two red triangle enforcers. Her hands were zip-tied behind her back, but her expression remained defiant. Shrek loomed over her, his white hair almost luminous in the harsh work lights. Penguin watched from beside a control panel, his grotesque features twisted in satisfaction. But it was the fifth figure that stopped my breath. The Joker leaned against the capacitor array itself, somehow free of Blackgate, his permanent grin wider than ever. "Oh, wonderful. The birthday girl arrives, though you're a day late for the real party." "How?" I started, but Bruce's voice crackled through, finally cutting through the interference. "Renee, it's a trap. Joker was never in custody. The man Gordon arrested was a double. Get out now." The Joker's laugh echoed through the chamber. "Too late for exits, I'm afraid. You see, Max and I had a productive conversation in Blackgate. Or rather, the gentleman pretending to be me did. Turns out we want the same thing, Gotham's complete attention. He wants power, I want chaos, and together." He spread his arms wide. "We get everything." Shrek's cold smile matched the Joker's madness. "The capacitor activates in 3 minutes. Every electrical system in Gotham will route through this facility, and I will control whether the lights stay on. The Penguin controls the streets, and our mutual friend controls the fear." "And you," the Joker said, pointing at me with theatrical flair, "get to watch your girlfriend die if you don't play along. Unity, compassion, courage, such pretty words. Let's test them, shall we?" Above us, explosions rocked the building. Dick's diversion had escalated into something much larger. The lights flickered, and in that moment of distraction, Selena's eyes met mine. Her lips moved silently, forming 2 words I'd taught her in our training sessions. "Trust me." Then she dropped backward, her Jeet Kune-do flexibility letting her slip between her captors, and the sub-basement erupted into chaos.